Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Haslar12, going through another game of Foot Champs with you guys. Doing a post-com this time rather than a live com. Just thought I'd do something a bit differently, rather than doing things the same all the time. It's going to be a similar kind of premise though. We're going to be talking about kind of good things and bad things about the game, what I did well, what I did wrong, the kind of skills that you guys can try and implement into your own game, and see if there's anything that I'm doing that again you guys can replicate to help you guys get some more wins. So as you can see, this guy had a really good team. I think you'd expect at this stage of FIFA by now, and it's going to be a tough test. This guy is a pretty decent opponent, one of the best ones I've faced this weekend so far. Still got a few of my games left to do, but no, he gives us a good game. So we're going to start off like we always start off, like I tell you guys to do. Going to keep the ball from our kickoff, pass it round, and see what kind of opponent he is, kind of guy we're facing, and try and gauge kind of his ability before the game really gets going. Now, what we're looking for is to see the kind of way he reacts to us keeping the ball. Is he patient? Is he impatient? Is he happy for us to pass it? Does he want to get it back as fast as we can? Does he want to get in our face? What we could tell from the first, it's 4 game minutes in now, and he hasn't touched it yet. And that to me suggests that he's a pretty good player. He's happy for me to have the ball, he's comfortable in his own defending, and he obviously believes that he thinks that he can keep me out without having to really pressurise me or try and force me into any mistakes. Unfortunately for myself, I fall a bit victim to this, and I try and force something that isn't really there at all, like I try and tell you guys to avoid, because I begin to get impatient, and because this guy's defence isn't moving anywhere. Again, there you see him doing a pass that isn't on, and you're going to see now it's going to lead to a goal. So that's something I want to press on here, is the fact that a lot of the time you might concede a goal and you might think, wow, there's nothing I could have done about that, but there is always something you could have done about it. Firstly here, my first mistake is that Van Dijk. Why have I brought Van Dijk out there? Completely wrong thing to do. He's 5 yards further away from where he should be, and there was no reason for me to be controlling him. The second thing is trying to force that ball forward with Son when I gave the ball away. That's what led to him having the ball, and effectively what led to him getting that goal. Now, when people concede goals and they say, oh, there's nothing I could have done about that, it's just FIFA, giving me, all the wrongdoings. Yeah, fair enough, sometimes that might be the case, but if you look back on the whole entire gameplay, there will be something somewhere that, you've done that you shouldn't have done that has led to you conceding the goal. So we're going to move a bit further forward now in the gameplay and just catch up with what's been going on in the first 20 minutes of this game. As you can see, this is how the majority of the game's been so far. He's been in just outside my box, and every time I get it, I've been giving it away. But look, all of a sudden we've got a decent chance to counter. What should be going through my mind now is trying to bring that ball back and bring other players into the game. That's exactly what I try and do here. I get the ball across, Rafinha's closed down pretty quickly, so we go back and try and recycle the ball. So what ends up happening though is I force it, and when you force it you lose the ball, and that's what I'm trying to say to you guys. Just take your time when you're in the attack. I mean, I'm getting clearly quite frustrated in this game. I'm trying to force stuff that isn't there. I've done it numerous times now, once it's led to a goal. So I just need to remember to relax, to take my time, to recycle the ball, recycle possession, and go again. So jumping back into the gameplay now, we're almost at half time, and this is actually the stage of the game where we have our first shot, which really shows how poor we've been. It's the first time we get down the line and actually work some space and then find De Bruyne in the box. It's our first shot, and it wasn't even a good one. It wasn't a clear opportunity. It ends up being blocked, and the keeper, I don't think he's even touched the ball in his hands yet. There's your stats. Yeah, we've had all the ball, but this is the point that I'm making in previous videos where I say it's not necessarily about possession over time, it's about how effective you are with the ball. This guy's been far better on the ball in the first half than I have, and he's been much better in defence, and it's mainly for two reasons. The first reason is I'm trying to force mistakes, I'm trying to force the ball forward, and that's going wrong for me. That's not what I should be doing. And the second reason is I'm getting impatient with my defenders too and bringing them out of position when I shouldn't be. So we're going to jump straight back into it with us winning the ball high up the pitch with Rafinha whipping it into Son and getting us back in the game. It's going to be a pretty quick 5-10 minutes here, so try and keep up. But the really thing, the one that I want to press on right now, is how effective the team press can be when used correctly. This guy was playing better than us in the first half and having more of the chances, and we were pretty much out of it. In terms of a contest, it looked like he was the better player, and that was it. But no, we started utilising the game mechanics to our advantage, and that's something that I really want to touch on in this video. So again, we got back to 1-1, and look, we're waiting for the right time to pass the ball, and look at that from De Bruyne. It's an absolutely lovely ball, and again we capitalise, and before you know it, it's 2-1, and we're leading in a game where it did not look like we should be leading in. But since the turn of the half, we've changed our approach to the game, and it's paid off big time. So I want to talk about the team press and why the team press can be so effective. A lot of people just put team press on and sort of just run around and hope that whatever player they've got control of, the other four near them are going to be making tackles and winning the ball back for them. But what they don't realise is that's obviously going to leave loads of space in behind, and then they get frustrated saying, oh, where's my centre back, where's my right back? Well, he's in the other person's half. He's all the way up the other side of the pitch. If you just turn team press on, and then with your forwards and your midfielders, put the pressure on at appropriate times. That was a really nice finish from that guy. A really good play by Mane. If you just turn it on at the right appropriate times, where your midfielders and your forwards can do the pressing, and then once he breaches that midfield line, turn team press off. There's no need for your centre backs and your right backs to be charging up the pitch trying to win the ball back, because the whole point of the team press is to win the ball back high up the pitch. I understand if it's late in the game and you need a goal back, then yeah, do what you need to do. I get that. But if it's 1-0 in the 48th minute or something, you don't need to be charging around desperately trying to find that goal. Take him by surprise, turn that team press on, see if you can nip the ball back high up the pitch, and then once he gets past your centre mids or a bit further up the pitch and you're not very comfortable, turn it straight back off, and then allow your midfielders to get back into position to create that wall in front of your defence again. So we're just going to jump back into this game now in the final 8 minutes or so, and talk about how to see out a game where you're only up by a goal and your opponent's all over you trying to do what they can to get the equaliser. The most important thing to remember, as with a lot of things to do with FIFA, is to just try and keep your cool, keep your composure, don't do anything daft. It's so easy to concede on this game. Don't make it any harder for yourself, okay? You just want to try and keep the ball, pass it round. You don't want to pass it round the back. I know it might be tempting, but team pressure, constant pressure and that combined, it can become a real struggle for you. You can just sort of keep it in areas where there's a lot of space near you. Look at me, I'm just keeping it with Arnold, but I'm still making sure I'm going forward every now and then to make sure I don't get caught out. Get that run from Rafinha. There's always going to be gaps in behind when you're up by a goal and there's only a few minutes left, because your opponent's going to, want to press you higher up the pitch, and it's going to lead to their fullbacks being out of position 9 times out of 10. Keep the ball in the corner. Every second that you waste is precious. You don't want to be keeping it in the corner in the 75th minute or anything daft like that, because it will backfire. But anything you can do to run that clock down. If you think about when I started talking, it was what, the 81st, 82nd minute or whatever it was. Now look, it's the 90th minute, and what's happened? Nothing's happened. He's not had one opportunity, he's not had a shot, he's not been near the goal, and that's the best thing that you could muster up in the final 10 minutes of the game. So it's really crucial when you're seeing a game out, just do the simple things and bide your time, because it does pass, it does go quick. You just need to keep your cool and make sure you're composed, keep the ball. Don't be passing it around the back, like I said, because you can get caught out like that. Make sure you do passes forward. But that's going to be everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it too. It's a bit different doing it as a post-com rather than a live-com. But still, the messages get across the same, I suppose. So yeah, do drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I do really appreciate all the support. And I'll be back soon enough creating more content for you guys.